Okay, picking up in the middle of the chapter, Wyatt and our hero are in a fight. Another punch from Wyatt met with my cheek this time. I saw it coming, but I didn't even try to block it. Why bother? Everything was my fault anyhow, so maybe I deserved a proper beating. And then the crowd started to calm down a little. Wyatt kept dancing and breathing heavily, occasionally letting out a wah, yow, wah, the way Bruce Lee does in those old movies. He was so engulfed in the moment that he didn't even realize everyone had stopped cheering. Suddenly I realized what was happening. Somehow in this moment I had become the bigger man. By refusing to fight back, I was taking a stand on my own. I was standing up to a filthy, rotten bully, and it gave me strength. I watched as he threw a kick into the air. Punches are one thing, but getting kicked is a whole other level of ouch. His foot landed on my arm, scorching pain down my spine. I wasn't sure how much more I could take of this, but I returned to my position in front of him. This is what Wyatt looked like. All aggressive. Fight back! Wyatt yelled. The frustration in his voice was clear. He swung a right hook at me, but this time I dodged it by leaning backward. I won't. You're not worth it. If I fight, then you win. If I turn this bag into the office, then you win. If I get caught with it, then you win. The only way for me to stop this is if I refuse to play along with your manipulative games. All I should have done was walk away from the beginning, but I can't do that now, can I? I'm stuck here, so the best thing to do is to refuse to fight back. From the corner of my eye, I could see Zoe smile at me. It was a proud smile. Hit me! Wyatt screamed again as he threw another hook. I dodged it as I had done before. One of his ninja minions put their hand on his shoulders. Come on, man. This is getting weird. Let's just get out of here. Several of the other ninjas agreed. Wyatt swung around and slapped the kid in the face. Don't tell me what to do, and don't you ever touch me. This is how he slapped that other kid. Wha-cha. It's pretty mean. The ninja leader flung back around with his arm swinging wide. It moved too quickly for me to back away from. All I could do was flinch. But the punch never landed. I pried my eyes open and saw a furious Mr. Cooper dragging Wyatt away from me. The circle of students filled the entire hallway. He started it, Wyatt shouted as he kicked his feet. I caught him with the stolen money. Look at it. It all came pouring out of that red backpack. Mr. Cooper released Wyatt's arm and stepped forward, staring at the floor covered in cash. Everyone in the hallway was silent, which made it easy for Wyatt to keep shouting. That's Zoe's bag. They were in on it together. They both stole the money, and I caught them. Then I confronted him, and he started fighting me. I had to defend myself. Mr. Cooper pushed the change around with his foot until he saw the yellow sheet of paper that labeled it the food drive money. He glanced around the hallway of students. By this time, several of the other teachers had joined, trying to push the kids away from the dropped cash. Who's responsible for this? Mr. Cooper asked. I already said they were, Wyatt screamed, pointing at my cousin and me. They were. It was them. Mr. Cooper raised his hand to Wyatt, instructing him to be silent. I didn't ask you. I asked them, he said, gesturing to everyone in the hallway. There was no way that any of Wyatt's ninjas clan would fess up to it. If they did, who would believe them? Everyone else in the hallway knew nothing of Wyatt's plan, so they all were good. All they were good for was a shoulder to shrug. The backpack was Zoe's, there was no doubt about that. And when they could get around to asking why it was her bag, she would claim it was stolen. I doubt she would say anything about the ninjas, but even if she did, who in the world would believe her? I looked at my cousin. She had a worried look on her face as she glanced back. It looked like there were tears forming in her eyes. She was family, but more importantly, she was a friend. When Zoe was questioned about Emily's stolen purse, she immediately admitted her foul-up. I took that as a lesson in integrity. I nodded at Zoe, and then I spoke. I took the money. Strangely, it was the ninja clan that gasped loudest. I told you, Wyatt said, slapping his hands together. No, I took the money, Braden suddenly shouted as he stepped forward. Wait, what? Why did Braden just say that? No, I took it, Zoe shouted. And then another weird thing happened. Other students started stepping forward and confessing that they stole the food drive money. I did it, said a short girl with red hair. She was cute, but that's besides the point. It was me, said one of the taller students. I took the money, said another. I watched as several of the ninjas stepped forward and did the same. I can't imagine Wyatt was too happy that they were doing it. Wyatt's face grew bright as he clenched his fists again. They took the money, he screamed as he jumped at me. Mr. Cooper caught him by his collar and pulled him back instantly. The coach pushed the ninja leader to the doorway of the front office and then turned around. I don't know who did this, but at this point it's clear that Wyatt had something to do with it. At the moment, the money's returned, which is more important than who did it. I think most of us are just thankful that it's back. Now everyone clear out of the hallway so we can gather up the cash and put it back where it belongs. But mark my words, this is not over. We'll find out who did it eventually, so it would be best if the guilty party stepped forward at a later time in private, the coach said as he slammed the office door shut. Wow, said Zoe as she looked at my face. You got your butt kicked. This is what that looked like. Yeah, I said. Seems like I might be good at that, huh? Maybe I could start a club or something. Emily pulled a tissue from one of her other purses. Maybe it was her lunchtime purse or something. I think it's manly, she said, and she started dabbing at my bloody lip with the tissue. Her eyes were cute. Sick, said Braden. Get a room. I laughed, but had to hold my side from the pain. Chase, said a student from behind. It was one of the members of the ninja clan. That was the most awesomest thing that any of us had ever seen in our entire lives. It takes a boy to start a fight, but it takes a man to end one. And you ended it with so much honor that my face wants to melt off. Cute picture you paint, said Zoe. The boy continued. We are without a leader now. What about Wyatt? I asked. He's a coward that just wants to control people and show how strong he is, said the boy. We need a clan leader like you, brave, honorable, and able to stand up to bullies, not beat them down. I nodded. Ninjas were cool, but this whole thing turned out to be more of a pain than it might have been worth. I smiled with blood on my teeth. I'll think about it. How does that sound? We'll need to know soon. There are rumors of a pirate invasion in the near future. The boy bowed, as did the rest of the clan, before turning and walking away. Let's see. That's what it looked like. Pirate invasion? What kind of insane school was this? Looks like you might have some friends here after all, Zoe laughed. Maybe, I said. That's if I don't get expelled. Nobody knows who took the money, and I doubt the teachers here will make any fuss about it, said Braden. As long as it's back, they're happy. Mr. Cooper opened the door to the office and leaned his head out. He pointed at me and said, Chase, come in here for a moment, please. And I'm going to have to pause it there because we've gone through another long piece of story. This is a really long chapter. Okay, get ready to start the next part, which is probably the very final part of the story. Love you guys.